Dear student, welcome and thank you for tuning in. We are still talking about diffusion. This is video number 8 in this lecture in the biomaterials class. In this video, we're going to talk about the non-steady state diffusion. If you remember previously, we talked about the steady state diffusion in which we described a fixed first law. To recall, fixed first law says that the rate of diffusion is independent of time, it just depends on position. J is minus D multiplied by the concentration gradient dC over dx, which is a position dependent concentration. In the non-steady state diffusion, we are going to get a little bit more detailed using much more complex formula. We need to describe what does it mean. In the non-steady state diffusion, the concentration of the species is a function of both position and time. In fixed first law, we have eliminated time and we said that diffusion is dependent on position. Now we need to put time into perspective as well. If we did this, now we are going to introduce something called fixed second law, and this is how it is described. Please remember from calculus, if you are having a variable that depends on two other variables, we need to do something called partial derivatives if we are talking about rates, which is change with respect to time. So fixed second law is saying that the partial derivative of concentration with respect to time equals d multiplied by the partial second derivative of concentration with respect to position. And in this formula, we incorporate both position and time to calculate the concentration. And this is what we call the non-steady state diffusion. It's a much more complicated setup, but we need to understand that this is how it will look like, and I will try to explain it a little bit more. So to explain this, let's take an example. So let's say we have this bar of aluminum and we are trying to diffuse copper, right, inside this bar. So here's our assumption. First assumption is that the bar has limited length and predetermined length, and also we have something a pre-existing concentration of copper around the bar from in this side at x. This is x equals 0 and this equals infinity. So this is a very, very long bar. We said we want to have it specific length, but let's assume that it's infinite length, for the simplicity of the calculations. So we say that we have this aluminum bar. I have a pre-existing concentration of copper atoms inside, so around inside the bar itself, from x equals 0 to x equals infinity. From here to here, I have C concentration of copper as C0. So inside the bar, I have concentration of C0. Outside the bar, I have on this side here at x equals 0, I have concentration of copper equals CS, which is concentration at the surface. We would like to see what's going to happen to this and we assume that CS is way larger than C0. So the concentration of copper outside here at this location is larger than the initial concentration of copper inside the bar. So if we left these copper atoms on this side for a long period of time, they will diffuse inside the aluminum bar. And if we looked at the non-steady state diffusion formula of fixed second law, so how would that look like? So let's assume at time equals 0, this red line. At time equals 0, I have initial concentration inside the bar of copper. So I have this amount of copper inside my aluminum bar, and at the surface I have larger concentration. Here's my assumption that CS will be constant all the time, which means that I'm supplying copper all the time to this location, so that we don't going to deplete it and it's not going to change the concentration. So this is at time 0. I have C0 inside my bar from this point x equals to 0 to x equals infinity, and I have CS at the x equal to 0. Now at time 1, let's say after a specific period of time, we will have this green line. So you can see that my CS will stay constant because I am supplying copper on the surface. But what's happening is that at this location, instead of having C0, I have now more copper coming in. So it's whatever inside the aluminum plus diffused atoms. And this at time 2 I will have more, at time 3 I will have even more. And that's what is my experimental um, data will look like with respect to time. So time 3, this is my concentration of copper inside the aluminum bar. So you can see that I'm going to get more and more copper coming in, and it's diffusing and it's filling the bar of copper. So that's the empirical value. Now we need to describe this phenomena, this behavior, because now I have position and I have time, and I want to see how can I describe this. I'm not going to get into the derivation, but the formula that we're going to get that can describe this phenomena is something called the error function. And you can find values of this error function in the table 5.1 in the textbook. But we need just to know that this is how the concentration with respect to position and time will look like as a formula, mathematical formula from our empirical data that we have collected using experiments. I hope that clarifies the non-steady states diffusion in solids, and thank you for watching till next time.